皆様、本日もお忙しい中、お集まりいただきありがとうございます。昨日に引き続き司会を務めます、外務省人物交流室の田貝由紀です。よろしくお願いいたします。オンラインで視聴されている方々は、Zoom 上で英語の同時通訳音声を聞くこともできますので、英語での視聴をご希望の方は、画面上の通訳ボタンで音声を切り替えるようにお願いいたします。オンライン参加者の中には、昨日の会議をご視聴できなかった方もおられると思うので、改めて会議の対面参加者8名を紹介いたします。ボスニア・ヘルツェゴビナのアレクサンダル・ラザレビッチさん、エチオピアのイサイアス・ゲブレヨハネス・フタビさん、ガーナのジョージ・エニマ・アルマさん、ネパールのパワン・クマル・バッタライさん、パキスタンのアヤズ・ヤサルさん、ポルトガルのジョアン・ペドロ・ダ・シルバ・アルメイダさん、スイスのステファニー・サンチさん、イギリスのジョシア・ジェームス・モリス・ギャラガーさん。それではこれより第6回帰国留学生総会第3セッションを開始いたします。第3セッションのテーマは、参加者の出身国から見た日本です。皆様の国において、日本は他国と比較してどのように認識されているとお考えでしょうか。ビジネス、文化、外交などの分野における日本の存在感や影響力についてご見解をお聞かせいただけたらと思います。また、日本留学を選択する動機や日本の留学先としての魅力についても、良い点、改善点も踏まえてご意見をお聞かせいただけますと幸いです。今回このテーマで発表いただくのは、ボスニア・ヘルツェゴビナとガーナの参加者です。各発表者の後には、それぞれポルトガルとイギリスの参加者から簡単にコメントをいただきます。その後、オンラインの参加者からもコメントをいただこうと思います。まず、ボスニア・ヘルツェゴビナのアレクサンダルさんの発表です。それではアレクサンダルさん、お願いいたします。
皆さん、おはようございます。私はアレキサンダー・ラザレビッチです。ボスニア・ヘルツェゴビナから来ました。私は心臓内科です。私は大阪の国立循環器医療センターでNational Cardiovascular Center学んでいました。So I will continue now in English. I will talk about the perspectives on Japan from people from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and you can see on the right side bridge in Mostar city in south part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and this bridge was destroyed. It's very old, but was destroyed during the war in Bosnia, but was rebuilt, so it has some symbolic meaning. So. Perception of Bosnian citizens about Japan are very positive. Japan is widely perceived in Bosnia and Herzegovina as a trustworthy ally in international cooperation, a source of inspiration and in resilience, modernization, and cultural richness, a supportive partner in education, sports, and community development. Japan has provided financial aid, technical expertise, and cultural exchange programs. Cooperation between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Japan in the health sector steadily and meaningful. Japan is a supportive partner through grants and technical assistance. Bosnian citizens tend to view Japan's health sector cooperation as practical and impactful. New equipment, better facilities, long-term oriented training and system improvements trustworthy, and generous, reinforcing Japan's image as a reliable partner. Japan has funded projects in local healthcare centers. These contributions help improve infrastructure, equipment, and patient services in smaller communities. Together we can achieve more. You can see here a small group of Dosokai alumni. We met every year at least twice with Japanese ambassador, and sometimes we take part in Japanese embassy activities like film festival, and we celebrate National Day reception of Japan every year. And during that days there is new student orientation and farewell, and we have also cooperation with alumni JICA. And friendship, commitment, and action are key to success. You can see here a group of Mombusho alumni together with JICA alumni with former ambassador His Excellency Kazuya Ogawa. We enjoy Japanese cuisine and food, but I'm now proud that one of my patients and one of my friends who has a very big chain of supermarkets, we have now possibility, at least in my city, to buy sushi every day in Banja Luka. So it's very good news. So. You can see here during the Dolls Festival, so with former ambassador His Excellency Hideyuki Sakamoto in residency in Sarajevo. And we celebrated this year on 17th of February, National Day reception of Japan with His Excellency Ambassador Aiki Toshihiro. You can see on the left side. Why did I choose to go to Japan? Personally, I have motivation. I have always been fascinated with Japanese culture and lifestyle, and my motivation stems from the eagerness to learn and experience the culture. And professionally, Japan is leader in advanced cardiovascular technology, and I felt privileged to have been given the opportunity to visit Japan, gain valuable knowledge, and work with some of the best cardiologists. I was particularly impressed by the high precision imaging and interventional cardiology devices. During one cardiology conference held in 1996 in Belgrade, there were around 400 people, and one Japanese very famous cardiologist, he addressed me just to ask me, can I write him some sightseeings of Belgrade? And I do that, and he asked me what I'm doing. I told him immediately war stops in Bosnia, so we are working in very modest condition. So later this professor became my mentor in Japan. So the Sakai is not formally organized in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but we have a big support of Japanese embassy, and Japanese embassy supports our network and organizes regular events, enabling sharing valuable experiences former scholarship recipients gained in Japan, which helps human capital development in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The interest of young people from Bosnia to study in Japan has been increasing in recent years. This is a result of the fact that Japan is becoming more popular, and the embassy in Japan in Bosnia offers scholarship opportunities for students from Bosnia and Herzegovina to study in Japan every year through the next scholarship program. Until now, we have around 56 alumni. Almost every year, 2 persons are sent to Japan, and since we started in 1996, after the war in Bosnia. We are talking about business and economy. There's a growing interest from business people and institutions in Bosnia and Herzegovina to cooperate economically with Japan, even though the overall economic relationship is still relatively modest. However, Japanese business delegation have visited Bosnia and Herzegovina. Around 18 Japanese companies met with the local officials to explore investment opportunities, whereby tourism and other sectors were highlighted as potential areas of cooperation. There are already 10 Japanese companies operating in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I can proudly say Toyota has made a big progress in Bosnia. Toyota Shimatsu is also medical company, so sometimes I use these machines for the choreography from Shimatsu, and I'm very proud of that. So, and also they have also very good ultrasound machines from Japan. And politicians and diplomats from both countries express continuing interest in strengthening economic and business ties. Japan has been a major donor and development partner in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and now both sides are trying to shift some focus toward more economic and business engagement. I would like to thank Japanese people and Japan. Really, they gave the biggest donation after the war in Bosnia comparing to all other countries. Thank you once more for that. So, from 2014 to 2018, we organized Japanese language course in most prestigious academic secondary high school gymnasium. And I personally financed 2 academic years, 2016 to 2017 and 2017-2018. You can see students write the New Year's greeting in Japanese, and the board about Japanese greetings and customs. And here, Mrs. Miho Djekic, she is Japanese. She's teacher with pupils, and Mr. Kumakura, former cultural attaché of the Embassy of Japan. Mrs. Miho Djekic is my friend. She's only Japanese lady I know in Bosnia. So, and she's living maybe 50 kilometers from my city. And I used before COVID to take some Japanese classes from her. So. And I will tell something here. Personally, my motto was to build a bridge between Japan and Bosnia and Herzegovina in medicine. And this is my mentor, Professor Dr. Satoshi Nakatani. We organized one very good conference in Jahorina. This is Olympic Mountain, where the Olympic Winter Games in Sarajevo, 1984, were held. And he is always honorary president of this meeting, and I am the president of this meeting. So. And we met, I invited at that time His Excellency Hideo Yamazaki, at that time ambassador of Japan, for the honorary lecture that Professor Nakatani held, and he visited us kindly in Jahorina, Olympic Mountain, and we have a very nice faculty dinner, and we enjoy some snow. I like skiing very much, and Professor Nakatani enjoys very much. So, and 2 years later, when His Excellency Hideo Yamazaki returned to Japan, he was at that time Director General of the State Guest House Akasaka Palace, and he invited me and Nakatani Sensei to visit this very special place and discuss some historical aspects. So, and 4 years later, we organized second international symposium on echocardiography, and you can see in the left upper corner the Japanese flag. So, Dr. Nakatani, you can see him, he was also honorary president of this meeting. So it was held in the Academy of Science and Arts in our country. So you can see here faculty. And this last year we organized third international symposium. Professor Nakatani was also there, and we have very good international faculty from Rochester, Minnesota, and from Norway, from Greece, Portugal. Our guest was also future president of Cardiology Society of Portugal, very good friend of mine. So it was very, very good meeting. So I also met, it was echocardiography, like imaging. So Professor Shimizu Wataru is one of the most famous electrophysiologists in Japan. He was chairman of the Department of Cardiovascular Medicine at Nippon Medical School, Nihon Ika Daigaku. I invited him to Banja Luka, and he visited me. And you can see the Professor Ranko Škrbić. He is a dean of medical faculty, also former Mobusho student. And Professor Shimizu was giving diploma of visiting professor faculty of medicine in Banja Luka University. And at that time, it was a historic moment. I just decided at that time, because he's electrophysiologist, just to install the first automated external defibrillator in Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is something totally new. And I just choose this moment when Professor Shimizu Wataru visited us because he's electrophysiologist. We use this in electrophysiology to save human lives with this defibrillator, but this is automated external defibrillator, and I'm very proud it was the first one in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have demonstration how to use this, and we have also a press conference just to learn people, to make aware how they can save a life in some specific situations. So, and I'm very proud that I chose the right moment that Professor Shimizu Wataru was there. He's current president of Asian Pacific Heart Rhythm Society. And Professor Sunao Nakamura, I met him yesterday. He's maybe leading cardiologist, number one in Japan for very complex cardiology procedures in stent implantation. He is traveling around the world and making procedures that the best cardiologists in their countries failed to do. So, and he has success rate maybe over 96% or something like that. So, I'm very proud to have him as my friend. I met him 2016, and I was in Kokuritsu Junkanki Biocenter in 1998, 1996. But in 2016, I met Professor Sunao Nakamura. I spent 3 excellent months in Matsudo. So I learned a lot from him. And he gave a lecture, We Are Sons of Hippocrates. And he does not always just take lectures. He just come and treat very, very complex patients. He always gives some donation, about 10,000 euros in materials, and he brings the new wires from Japan that we don't have in Europe. So sometimes in Banja Luka and Bosnia, some wires are first time used in Europe. It is little bit, you cannot believe, but it is the truth. So, and we also visited not only the Banja Luka University Hospital, but also smaller hospitals like Prijedor General Hospital, just to give some young cardiologists some idea how to treat this patient. And Professor Sunao Nakamura is always giving his knowledge to other people. So, and I will finish with this. Go seichou makoto ni arigatou gozaimashita.
アレクサンドルさん、素敵な写真とともに素晴らしい発表ありがとうございました。アレクサンドルさんの発表については、ポルトガルのアルメイダさんからコメントをいただきたいと思います。アルメイダさん、よろしくお願いします。
Thank you. I have to hurry up, otherwise my colleague will take the floor in a few seconds, right? With making questions. So I was very happy to be your discussant, Alexander. Although I liked all the presentations, yours is the one I feel more related to. I'd like to ask you something though about why you chose Japan. Not Japan chose you. You chose Japan, right?
So
and how it has changed your life.
It has changed my life in case that everything I learned in Kokuritsu Junkanki Biocenter at that time. So they have in one institution 53 machines, and in whole Bosnia and Herzegovina at that time we didn't have such a big amount of echocardiography machines. And my mentor, Professor Nakatani, used to say, you are a historic doctor in your country, because many procedures I introduced in Bosnia after I coming back from Japan. And many of my colleagues, they say after I come back from the Czech, new era in cardiology in Bosnia began. So that are the words from other people, not from me. So I think it has very big impact. And now Professor Nakamura, with this intervention, prolongs the life in these patients. I think human life is something most valuable that we have to. We should take care about it. So.
Thank you. And there's actually another question, and yesterday I wanted to ask this question everyone, but I've waited until now because of your presentation. Have you all considered involving the local Japanese community in our activities? I've done it before and with much success. Yesterday I called Lisbon and they said it's a small community. We have 1,000 Japanese people living in Portugal. It's not a huge community still. Of course, some Japanese people are not registered at the embassy, but in total we have 1,000. And they want, in fact, for them it's surplus to interact freely and spontaneously with Portuguese citizens, and also because of my job, I can also have like 35 nationalities in one single event. And so have you considered this possibility of involving the local Japanese community? It could be a kind of already preparing those scholars for the atmosphere of Japan.
As far as I know only Mrs. Miho Djekic. She's only Japanese person I know in Bosnia, so except for people who are in the embassy of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I told you she's a very good friend of mine. I used to take some Japanese lessons before COVID from her. She visited me in Banja Luka, and I told you I paid 2 years, academic years, from myself. Actually, I want to say this, but she told me I should tell this in this conference. So actually, I would like to skip this, but she told me. And I think it was very important for myself, for example, when I went the second time to Japan, to Tokyo, to Matsudo, so she gave me some booklet about garbage disposal. And maybe I know some the Sakai alumni, we are the only patient who recycle plastic in our homes. We have separate at homes, other people don't do that, so we always take care about that. Sometimes we use this like in Japan, just, how to prepare for the recycling, but I think there is a lot of space in Bosnia just to improve such very simple things like garbage disposal or so not so good. I think we should take some instructions from Tokyo or from other cities just to learn people how to do this. So.
Thank you. You
don't have questions today. ルミーダさんありがとうございます。他にアレクサンダルさんの発表に質問ある方、はい。
Well, I mean, first, just on the point of kind of involving Japanese community, I think it is something important, something that we're trying to do more of. We currently have a Japanese nursery in London, which is involved with the work of the embassy, but also with BAMS. So they presented about kind of how they run the nursery and how they work with the Japanese community in London. So they're kind of our gateway at the moment between both. My question for you, Alexander. First of all, fantastic presentation. I mean, it's just an amazing story, kind of what's happened and how cardiology has developed in Bosnia and Herzegovina as a result of your time in Japan, which is just from one person. Where do you see the next generation of cardiologists in Bosnia and Herzegovina going? And certainly kind of relying on that relation with Japan and continuing that relationship with Japan.
Thank you very much, Joshua, for this question. So I think there are a lot of young people, very good people, and maybe they have some problems, but I will be the bridge to because at that time National Cardiovascular Center, the people who I used to work with are now on the leading positions in Japan. So maybe but sometimes people it's a different style of life, something like that. So I think they will be very happy. Some people to go to work to see only Dr. Nakamura or some leading experts in this field. So I think I can help. So there are also some medical doctors in other areas like neurology and pharmacology. They have also been in Japan. So I think we can help them just to prepare them to go to Japan, because I think really in most complex procedures, so Japanese cardiologists are the best in the world, really. So I was standing nearby to Dr. Nakamura. I attended many conferences in the United States and abroad. So, and I have seen success rate in how they work. So, and it is something like Japanese life. Style of life, so just humble and just try until you succeed. And sometimes it's really they can see 10 steps before. So sometimes we don't see that. Like I always enjoy. Yesterday, my mentor visited me. He showed me some new things in cardiology, and I was really very happy because he had recently one conference for the young doctors, promising doctors from Japan, and he invited Justin Davis from United Kingdom. He is the leading person in fractional flow reserve measuring. There are really excellent faculty here that Dr. Sunao Nakamura works with. So it is really a privilege to just to attend this meeting, and more privilege to see him how he's working on his team. Thank you very much.
May I?
Nihon ga suki desu. I would like to finish with this, but please.
Just one small question, and it's meant to you've been doing a lot of effort personally to boost a lot of Japanese culture, conveying it to the people and everything. So which aspect of Japanese culture you think are people most interested in your experience in Bosnia? And second, the second part of the question is that of course the association within that particular country depends upon alumni in Bosnia-Herzegovina, but do you think there's any place or any way that the international Japanese alumni community can also assist in your efforts?
So when we are talking about culture, we can talk about everyday culture. So, for example, Ivica Osim was the coach of the football team of Japan, and they make a big success at that time, Japan. And his son is my neighbor, so I have some small apartment in the south part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I know him. We were totally surprised when Japanese people, for example, after the football match, so they just cleaned everything. So that is something that is culture, in my opinion. That we learned from that. Everybody in Bosnia was talking about that. There are many aspects I would like to say, and maybe regular people just have very big respect to Japanese people because they are precise, they come on time, and they work hard. And I think this way of living is like I don't know how to say. It's something that Bosnian people very perceived in Japanese. And your second question, sorry, can you repeat once more? Sorry.
Is there any way, because it seems like you might have fewer members, at your disposal to, assist in your activities. Is there any way in which the international alumni community can aid you in any way in promoting?
Yes, I think so. But first, we would like just to follow instructions from Japanese embassy. So, and we will now in April, we have initiative to make formal organization, not only voluntary but formal organization, to include more people from different areas. Maybe we should have some committees. But as I have seen, you who are sitting here, I learned a lot during this conference from all of you sitting here. So maybe you can also, with you can help us. So just to improve our organization. But I think we should follow the instruction also from the Japanese embassy in Bosnia and Herzegovina first. So, thank you very much.
はい、小室室長お願いいたします。
ありがとうございます、アレクサンダルさん。フバラセルビア語でフバラ大変いくつかのコメントとpor favor, please. Yeah, I have some questions and comments. 日本語でやりましょう。まずコメントといたしまして、ですね、今日のお話を、今のお話を伺って、昨日の話と、not working?
Not working. ちょっと待ってください。Here, I can hear, okay?
Alright, yeah. 昨日のお話と今日の話を伺っていて、まず一番感じたのが、その会長、それから各メンバーのさまざまな強みを生かして日本との関係強化ができるんだなということを思いました。アレクサンダルさんの場合はその医学、医療の分野で日本の専門家先生方との関係があって、そして日本を好きだという気持ちを同窓会で 生かしてくださっているんだなと思います。本当に答えは一つではなくて可能性はたくさんあるんだなということを感じました。そして今もうすでに申し上げましたけれども、強みを生かすということに加えて、それぞれの方の、日本人とのつながり、パーソナルな関係というものが会の発展につながるんだろうなということを感じました。昨日は他のグループ、同窓会、JICA とか AOTS とか他のグループとの連携を議論していただいたんですけれども、それが横のつながりであれば、今日は縦のつながりというかディープニングというか、そういった形でも会の発展を、促すことができるんだなということを昨日とそれから今の発表で感じました。それでちょっと調べてたんですけれども、ボスニアにいる日本人の方は大変少ないです。日本では毎年統計を取って外務省のホームページで、発表しています。見たら今25名と書いてありました。したがってvery small community でもその中でつながったり、それから日本の先生方とのつながりを通じて日本との関係を強化していただけるのかなと思いました。これがコメントです。で、次の質問は、あなたの国で日本はどのように見られてますかということにお答えいただいたんですけれども、ちょっと聞いてみたいのが、他のアジアの国もいろいろな形で語学学校をやったりですね、いろんな形でプレゼンスを強化しようとしていると思うんです、日本のネイバリングカントリーズで。今自分の感じで日本のプレゼンスがなんか小さくなってきたかな。今ドラマ、ネットフリックスも他の国のドラマがいっぱいあると思うんですが、日本のプレゼンスが自分の国で少しなんか他の国に比べて小さくなったとか、いやそれはあんまり感じない。引き続き日本はもう本当に魅力的で留学生が行きたいと思ってるかどうか。2つ目の質問に対して自分のパーソナルオピニオンで構わないのでお伺いできると幸いです。
Thank you very much for this excellent question. So, in my opinion, I think that the Japan influence is increasing, especially in young people. They are looking some films like Pokemon or something, especially in the small children and so on. And I think also that comparing to other countries like China and other Asian countries, maybe. I think this is my personal opinion. Maybe Japan is leader from Asia, so maybe so. In my humble opinion, so. And your second question, so Masen, can you once just?
同じです。特に文化面でなぜこれを今申し上げているかというと、自分が海外にいて。やっぱり日本の例えば電気製品、日本の電気製品とか電話、モバイルフォンとかのメーカーがあんまりもう日本ではなくなってきていて、他の国のスマートフォンがたくさん出ている。でネットフリックスでも分かりません、皆さん見てるかどうかも分からないですけれども、歌、例えばグラミーとか歌でもやっぱり悪いことでは全然ないんですけれども、日本としてもその日本の魅力を訴えるためにですね、今どういう状況なのかというのを知っておきたいと思うんですね。で文化って 植物を育てるように水をやり続けなければいけないんじゃないかなと思うんです。一回みんなが好きになってくれてもそこに水をやり続けなければ木は枯れてしまうというかで、そう思うんですけれども、それをではじゃあ、ガバメントみんながそう思っているかどうかっていうとそれはいろいろ差があるので、どうですかね、どんな感じでもういいんです。いや日本がもうとってもリーダーでっていうことであればもう我々とっても嬉しくて引き続き頑張っていきたいと思うだけですので大丈夫です。どうでしょうか。
Okay, Japanese Film Festival attracts also many people. They have some presentation in many big cities in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but compared to Japan, that are very small cities because our capital Sarajevo has around 500,000 people, and second largest city is Banja Luka, where I'm living, is 200,000 people. So comparing to Japan, city is very small, but they usually organize Japanese Film Festival in big cities in Bosnia, and the interest is increasing every year. So for that, so and when we are talking about mobile phone, Samsung I think is more maybe a leader on iPhone in Bosnia. So not Samsung, but we still have when we, for example, when I just recommend some apparatus for ketsuatsu, for blood pressure measurement, I say to my patients, please buy one Japanese or one German. So, and yesterday I say from Isaiah, I learned from Isaiah that there are more made in Japan engineers in Ethiopia than made in Germany, like it was before. So I think so. I usually recommend to my patient, please buy one Japanese Omron, very good companies for ketsuatsu, for blood pressure measurement. We rely very much in Japanese medical equipment. So that's. ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。他に質問大丈夫そうですかね。はい。アレクサンドラさんありがとうございました。
ありがとう。
続きましてガーナのアルマさんの発表です。それではアルマさんよろしくお願いします。
Cover your face. No, and this one here to show your name.
All right, thank you very much.
This one please keep the slide to back to the
All
slide.
right, thank you very much. Good morning. Alex, I didn't know Omron was a Japanese company. It's used about 90% of the meters is Omron. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. So my name is George Ama. I work with the Noguchi Medical Research Institute, the University of Ghana, and I'm going to talk about the perceptions of Japan in the eyes of Ghanaians. This is a question that I was asked several times when I was a student in Osaka in 1986, and it's interesting that it's coming back to me again to be asked. But I think Ghana has a very, very, very good reception very good perception of Japan, and it's based on certain things. It's not working. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. And so my talk is sort of tiered in this format, trying to look at what are the drivers, perspectives, and it's about technology, perceived cultural similarities, and then how this has evolved over time. And then it is not been a two-way street. It's Japan coming to Ghana and Ghanaians also going to Japan. So that's why I put out a two-way street. And of course, the other perceptions that I call it inscrutable image, and then I'll try to end by that. Okay. For the average Ghanaian, Japan is synonymous with high quality and durable goods. This is what we all learned when I was a child. And the perception is visible on our roads and our homes, where you see all the very good goods. For every 10 cars that you see on the road, about 7 will be Toyota. And it wasn't Nissan at that time, it was Datsun at that time when I was growing up. And then the Hondas. In the domestic field, it's mostly the Sonys, Panasonics, and the others that go in. And it's to families. It's because of the longevity of it, very durable. It stays for a long time, and it's also very reliable. And it's sometimes also more like a status symbol that you have the best in the world. In terms of reflections themselves in Japanese, the two countries have a total respect of communalism, which is manifested in shared values. The most important ones are respect for the elderly. In Ghana, you can't talk back to the elderly. It's you don't do that. It's a complete taboo. And then we also what we call the inkabum. Inkabum is a Ghanaian word for togetherness, being as one unit. And I was looking for the best word for it, and I think it's uchi. It's being part of the family in Japanese. We also have the elaborate chieftaincy and social hierarchies. There are hierarchies in the system. We have the chiefs, we have the sub-chiefs, we have that, and that's how the decision making and then it's followed. And we also have very strong resilience, which is highlighted by my friend who is very fluid in Japanese said what Miseba Naru, a strong spirit, which really literally means where there's a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way. You never give up spirit. And then Ghanaians are also hardworking. We abhor laziness. And all these things align with the Japanese culture. And it has reinforced Ghanaians' positive perception of Japan and its people in helping to create a special affinity between the two countries. And right from the independence, this is what has been done, and it's also being built upon. All right. So it has roots in Ghana's independence in 1957, when Dr. Nkrumah became the president, and he was a great admirer of Japan's rapid industrialization. And then one thing that also hit him very hard was very deep was that Japan, after the war, built it up with structure and modernized, but did not give up its culture and traditional values. And that is what he also wanted. Ghana was the first African country to have independence. And some of them who had them earlier, the culture completely changed. And if it was an English culture, it became more anglicized. If it's a French culture, also became more in the French domain. But he looked at Japan and said, look, in the development and formation, rebuilding of the country, the culture never changed. And that's what he really enjoyed. And it was an adopted model for Ghana's own development and formed a large part of the blueprint of the program. So this evolved in a strong economic partnership and relationship between the two countries, and the formation of deep historical and people-centered foundation, and it's been built over 70 years. It's also it so happened that Dr. Hideo Noguchi, one of the biggest names in Japan, worked in Ghana, and I was privileged to see his technician about 10 years ago, just before he died, and worked in Ghana. And he died also in Ghana. And the good work that he did has never been forgotten by Ghanaians, and they still respect him for that. Based on that, the Japanese government decided to build an institute in his memory for Ghana. And the institute is the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Ghana. And it has been a very positive thing. The institute has served as not only an institute for Ghana, but an institute for West Africa and all the other countries. During epidemics, that is where we do the testing of samples and confirmation of pathogens. And during the COVID era, a lot of the samples were brought to Noguchi for the analysis and that. We've also done a lot of work on some of the other pandemic pathogens, like Ebola, dengue, and all the various ones. Noguchi also serves as a good link between the Japanese and Ghana. As countries evolve, subjects like tropical diseases become very difficult to really study in one's own country because you don't see them anymore and becomes foreign to it. It's just like if you ask students what are the symptoms of measles, they don't know what it is. But then it creates the forum for the continual training of people. So it's a very, very important. Right? The picture you see in the middle is a delegation delegation for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who just visited Noguchi recently. And it's part of the planning of 100 years of relationship with Ghana and 70 years of diplomatic ties with Ghana. And I think there will be a big function next year. The others who have also enhanced or put a lot of work in the evolution of these relationships. And I think I want to recognize the Japan International Cooperation Agency. They provided technical exchanges in training programs by JICA. It's continuous and very visible in our roads, in our ministries, in our health programs, and everything. It's very, very there. I was also a beneficiary of the JICA program. I'll tell you about that at the tail end of the story. And then the Japan Exchange and Teaching program, that has helped a lot in the educational field, and I'm trying to help. So, for instance, the good thing about Ghana is that about 80% of the population is illiterate and can read and write. So it's all because of these things. And these have been evolving programs that have helped in terms of the collaboration. The other one that affects us is the GAJU, the Ghana alumni of Japanese universities. And it was set up in 1992 by about 5 close friends of mine who were from the Saitama, Osaka, Chiba, Nagoya, and Tokyo universities. And it was a small group, very, very small, and that's how we started. And the main program was a support for GAJU members and also enhance Ghana-Japan relations. All right, and once we did that, we started gathering members slowly, and those who came after our time began joining the program. We also provided orientation for aspiring Mombusho students, and this was something that we did together with the embassy because there was always a request from Ghanaian students to the embassy regarding study in Japan, and we sort of filled in that role. We also supported the embassy in these activities pertaining to building and improving cultural relations with Ghana. We also built on the improving fraternal relations with the experts working in Ghana. At that time, we had just about a few of them when we started, about 30 or 25 or 30 of them in the JICA programs. And we sort of had a revolving program and inviting them to our homes to feel the Ghanaian culture. Our wives took the women to the kitchen and they had to cook Ghanaian food just to feel it, and it was a very good thing. Initially also we used to go as groups to other cultural centers in Ghana. We drove together in a bus and it brought about more, we got together much better. And then GAJU has also recently been working on the annual Japanese essay and speech contest. And that is what we're doing for high schools. It initially started for select high schools, but it's been so popular that other schools and other groups of people who are not students get in there. And what we do to enhance this is that there are some members of GAJU who study Japanese language. And so they take turns and then doing the fundamental, Japanese, like what we learned when we went to language school, when we all came to Japan. And those are the sort of programs that they run for them to be able to tell them their name, where they come from, and good morning, good afternoon. So yes, so that is that. And then also we also have Ghanaians who are also married to Japanese, or Japanese married to Ghanaians, and they also feeling with that. And so it's more building the community for them. It's interesting that the first speech, what they call it, contest, essay, the speech contest question that we asked people to do, the theme was, my image of Japan. And I've been asked now to also talk about it. So it's an evolved thing. We have also recently also added a Yosakoi festival. And then also the Japanese provide some, cook some meals. One of our friends is he's very crazy about the okonomiyaki. And so he's always, at every program, he sort of prepares the okonomiyaki, creating an environment for more cooperation, more interaction, and then exchange of culture. So we've always been privileged that about 10 years ago, His Royal Highness, then the Crown Prince, visited Ghana, and he made sure he met with Daju, and we had an interaction with him, and it's something that we've always been grateful and never forgotten. Yeah, and what you see on the right picture is within it you see some Japanese school students who also visited one of the schools and stayed there for a weekend, and they had interaction with them. And it was more of building the bond. We realized that if we catch them young and bring them together, it's a more sustainable thing that we can go through. And then the events, Yosakoi Festival, from the Japanese community, from other communities in Ghana, and then for those who get excited at the scene and they want to join in. And this is something that we do. And it's become a very, very important festival every year. And we do believe that Ghana is trying to put all the festivals that around into maybe November, December, and probably we may be part of the group of the festival. So we're still enhancing and bringing to light the Japanese culture and then Japanese people. And then there was one very, very big event. Ghanaians love soccer. And at the time, the attendance of playing fields, became very low because they were not doing well. And then we had a Japanese coach who came to head one of the coaches. His name is Kenichi Yasuhashi. He came to coach Accra Hearts of Folk. And within 6 months, he turned the whole thing out. I think he also used the quotient methodology to it, and it worked very, very well. And within a short time, all these the stadia were filled up, and you can see a lot of Japanese, Japanese who hadn't even registered with the embassies were always coming to the stadium. So it was a big revolution. And even after he left, after 2-3 years, we still remember him. And they always talk about him. So the development has been people-centered. We try to organize, being organized, but it's also been people-centered, and we also handle it nicely. So, but there's also another factor. We know that Japanese are known as formal, reserved, and sometimes difficult to read, comprehend, or understand. And the indirect communication style can sometimes be a point of curiosity, all right, or mild confusion for the more direct Ghanaian communicator. Ghanaians will tell you what it is, but the Japanese politeness goes around it, and it becomes a problem. This initially, was thought to be, it's another side of Japanese, it's more of coldness and things. But we work through it. And now Ghanaians see this as an extreme form of politeness and not coldness. So it's now added, it become part of the positive part of the Ghanaian, the Japanese culture. So in conclusion, I want to say that as more Ghanaians travel and work in Japan, and as Japanese interest in Ghanaian culture also builds and grows, the old image of Japan among Ghanaians is being replaced by a more complex, nuanced understanding. The old image being the cars and products and things is being changed. The Ghanaian perception of Japan is a rich tapestry. It is woven from threads of admiration of Japanese technology and quality, engagement with Japanese popular culture, connection through shared values of respect and hard work, and appreciation for Japan's developmental partnership with Ghana, which is still growing. I think the developmental partnership in Ghana, in West Africa, I think Ghana is about the highest in terms of Japanese programs that we have. It is a story of looking at a distant society and seeing a reflection of your own self and your operations for quality, discipline, and future, where we can modernize without losing our culture. To us, we see it as a perception rooted not in what makes us different, but what connects us together. So that is what it is. That's what it is. And then on the last question was, why did I come to Japan to study? That's the interesting part. As I said, the Japanese government set up the Noguchi Institute, and at that time, virology is a difficult subject. And even now, you find just about a few laboratories or institutes who do virology. At that time, to look at viruses and pathogens causing diseases, you need to either grow the virus in special situations or look at it with an electron microscope. And my institute was donated. A microscope was donated. It was probably among the first 2 or 3 in Africa, so we had to use it well. And as a 20-year-old person, I was pushed that you go to Hokkaido University and get yourself trained in that. And that is how we started. So I was in Hokkaido for some time, and then in Sendai for some time. Sendai with the Hitachi Koki to learn about how it's been put up and everything. And then after that, I got more interested, and then went to Osaka University to do medical sciences, vaccinology, immunology, and that. And that is how I got myself in. And I haven't regretted it. It's a good change, and I appreciate it. So in this point, I would like to thank the Japanese people for all the support, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the support and also bringing us to, because nothing would have been possible without the Ministry of Foreign Affairs doing their recommendations. And also the Japanese taxpayers for taking care of us and making it possible. Thank you.
アルマさん、ありがとうございました。アルマさんの発表についてイギリスのジョシュアさんからコメントをいただきたいと思います。ジョシュアさん、お願いします。
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think I was really fascinated just how long you've kind of been continued in JAGU from 1992. My question is, I guess it's relevant to all of us because we're doing this as volunteers and we're running these organizations with other people who are also volunteering their time and working at their time. And I was wondering if you had any perspective on how exactly you've managed to do that, to continue going on a voluntary basis for such a long time.
Yeah, I think what really drove us is that we also had some sort of similar support when we were in Japan. I had a family that I visited most often. My colleagues also had families that they spent time with. I quite remember I came here with my family and then my wife, and the Professor Tomito of blessed memory would normally make sure we come to the home and then he brings people on that. And so we thought we should also do something, and that's what drove us. And seeing the young people wanting to, at that time there was a competition between going to Europe and then going to the East. But then we told them the culture is very different, but very interesting and very, very close to what we have, and it should be done. And so we sort of try to encourage people that we paid some dues every month from our salaries and put them together to support that. Because of the good work that we were doing, we also found some Japanese companies, Marubeni. One of our colleagues was working with Marubeni, and then we got Marubeni also providing some funds to help some of the activity. It was activity-driven support, and that's what we went on.
Thank you. No, it sounds like it is just about your kind of passion for Japan that kept you going. As well, it's interesting to hear a few times people have talked about this choice between do I go to be it Germany or Japan?
Yeah.
And Japan wins in the end.
Yes. I must also say that at the moment, we still have some very good collaboration with the Mie University, Mie Medical School in the Mie, Ken. 10, 15 years ago, one of the biggest killers of children in Africa was diarrhea, viral diarrhea. And we had one professor who was very supportive, Professor Kamiya. And apparently his son is also, here is in the Middle East Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He sort of put us together and support us. So we were able to work hard towards the testing of the vaccines that have been developed in another world, to tell the whole world that it works also in Africa. And it's not only for the European developed world, it works also in Africa. And then created the enabling environment for this introduction. WHO supported it. And the vaccines were introduced in the African continent in 2012. In Ghana, we used to have about 8,000 kids dying every year from the disease. Now I think it's less than 500 or so. And it's all over the whole country. So it's one of the big impacts that Japan has also introduced in the global health. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。他にアルマさんに質問ある方いらっしゃいます。はい。バッタレさんお願いします。
Thank you, Aruma-san, for your presentation. It's not a question, just I'd like to know your view on, because you are the last presenter, I think you have seen all the presentations. So how can the alumni networks from Africa and Asia collaborate to amplify the Japan's global engagement from your point of view?
All right. I think we need to me, my view is that we need to have something that we are interested in, and then we want to work together. It could be a project, it could be something that we want to do. Maybe because I work with the health sector, you say, look, Nepal is also part of the developing countries and things. We have special issues. Is there something that we can work in collaboration, looking at the African context and maybe the Middle European, Eastern European context? And once we are able to come up with a project, we can then ask for support. And that is how we build collaboration. All right. It's the same. We were talking about yesterday about Ethiopia, where we try to see whether can we, through the JICA Gaju program, foster some sort of training in well-being, well-being of populations, and that, yeah. In Africa, it's also a growing country, and in most growing countries, the biggest problem is cardiovascular diseases. You have experiences in that. These are things that we can come together, as a project, formulate it properly, and then look for funds to support it. I think, to me, that's what we need to have something, something that is holding all of us together, and that is how we can go.
Thank you.
はい。パキスタンにアサルさんお願いします。
ありがとうございます。素晴らしい発表ですね。It was a very nice presentation. So I have just one question that came into my mind that Alexander also talked in detail about the medical science and how it's impacted. You also touched upon it. I know for a fact that there are Japanese alumni who are working extensively with WHO and with many other international organizations to further the impact of the medical sciences domain. So, is there an existing network or a fraternity or a group or something which connects the people, for example, in medical sciences who have graduated from Japan? And a broader question out of this would be that do you think that speciality focused alumni groups also have potential over and above the regional groups that we already have?
I think it's very true. Even with the local, we have a couple of us who are in the medical sciences and those in the creative part of it. When there are issues, they provide services. And so that's why I asked, was it yesterday, regarding the fact that we need to have some sort of a directory that tells that ABCD was in Osaka University and that he's also an alumni. And those are things that we can use to connect people. All right. The embassy gives us a list of people who came in, but sometimes we don't get the specialization. I think it's grown, it's big. So we should have some sort of directory of who was here, who was at what year, and what did the person specialize. So that flipping through it, if I want to collaborate with some people in Switzerland, I can, Stephanie is there, maybe she can give me some advice and things like that. But at the moment, we don't have it. What is pertaining is that we are building our own registry, right? Yes, it's not being done by JICA, but they have the data. Mobutu has the data, JICA has the data, MEX has the data. If it's compiled every year with a addendum, it adds to it. So we need to have that. You can't progress if you don't have it. It's important to have.
他にアルマさんの発表に質問ある方いらっしゃいますか？はい、お願いします。
Thank you, George. So I just want to give a comment. If we populate, for example, after you turn back, your impact because you learned here, you contributed to the medical domain of Ghana, and we have lots of Japanese alumni. So if we populate this one, same also with the case of Ethiopia, I think it will inspire the youth. That I believe will inspire our young generation to look to the east. I think this is something which I believe will be very useful to inspire the young generation.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The growing child in Africa always looks at a role model and want to see that, because even in my group, 3 of my members became vice chancellors of the universities, of big universities there. Some of them are corporate organizations. One became a Ghanaian ambassador to Japan. And so we need to, which I know this is what I learned first in Japan was that the nail that sticks out gets hammered back in. And so we need to be modest and quiet. But I think these are things that we need to look at and get it done. We need to have our own members, who are there. And then, if I go to Ethiopia, I should be able to say, look, I want to see Yasi. I know he's a member, and if I call him and introduce myself, he's not going to say no. If I come to the UK, I say, hey, Josh, I'm around. How about going for a glass of beer? He won't say no. It is how we build the relationship. And so we should think about it. That.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
それでは時間になりましたので、ここで質疑応答終わります。じゃあ小室室長からコメントがあるのでお願い。
George さん、please have a seat. Please have a seat. Just just a small comment, and 日本語にしますと、ありがとうございました。いろいろな形で日本との関係、文化活動を含めてやっていらっしゃるんだということが大変よく分かりました。そしてそのガーナの独立からの歴史をたどるときに、日本の歴史についてもガーナの方々にとってなんて言うんでしょうか、訴えるものがあってというところも改めて私認識をしたところです。野口英世博士、本当に偉大な方であって、で自分自身も子どもの頃よく3人の偉大な方の遺伝を読むのが好きで、1人が野口英世さん、もう1人がキュリー夫人、もう1つがヘレン・ケラー、この3名の人生をもう子どもの時から何度も読むのが好きだったんですけれども、この本当に野口博士、アフリカのみならずブラジルでも野口博士がいたところにストリート、名前がついてるぐらいで、リオにもサンパウロにもドトール野口ストリートっていうのがあるぐらいで、本当に世界中で、インパクトを残された偉人で、そういった日本の先輩たち、偉人の方々の功績が日本との関係を築いてるんだなと。だから私たちも頑張らなきゃなということを改めてちょっと思った次第であります。で、今最後おっしゃっていたように、その分野スペシャライゼーションを通じた、国境を越えた、帰国留学生の方々のつながりということも大切なアプローチだなと今改めて勉強させていただいたので、何ができるかを我々もちょっとまた宿題として考えさせていただければと思います。本当にいろいろ大変なところをありがとうございました。プレゼンテーション大変勉強になりました。ありがとうございました。
小室室長、ありがとうございます。ここでオンラインからご参加いただいている参加者の方からコメントをいただこうと思います。はじめにフィジーから参加いただいているサリカさん、いらっしゃいますか？サリカさん、声出せますでしょうか？
はい。Yes. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, please comment.
I can't manage to see my video. Am I visible?
We can see, but yes.
Oh, okay. I have my camera on. But I can't see the settings on the call to activate it. There doesn't give me an option.
We can see
Not
you
seeing
well,
any
but
video.
we can hear you well, so that's fine without camera.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to provide a comment today, and thank you for the speakers for the very engaging and interesting presentations. It's really great to see the similarities, but also the more interesting facts from different regions in the world. My name is Sarika Chand, and I am a Mabukakusho alumni. I currently I'm from Fiji, and so I'm representing the Pacific Islands today in my short comment. In terms of the topic that we are discussing, I wanted to add that from the Pacific Islands point of view, we are the people from the big ocean states, but small islands. And so sometimes it can seem, even though we are very familiar with Japan, we're on the same sort of side of the world, even though we're in different hemispheres. But we've grown up, one of our key exports to Japan, we like to joke about, is that one of our key exports to Japan are rugby players. And we've also grown up with, several JICA volunteers, OFCF, the Overseas Fisheries Corporation Foundation of Japan, and other engagements with the country. So we have a strong bond with Japan, but for those who are applying for the Mombukakusho scholarship, it can be quite intimidating for our students from the Pacific Island countries with regards to, learning a new language, a completely different language and script, and also navigating life in a big country. The contrast in the population size alone is enough to deter or, maybe, intimidate, as I mentioned, some students. Our Fiji population, for example, Fiji is one of the largest countries in the Pacific Island, in the Southern Pacific, if we don't count PNG, and Fiji's population is still shy of 1 million. So you can imagine, the big contrast of moving to Tokyo. I spent 3 years in Tokyo doing my master's at Waseda, and very different atmosphere from our home. So, but the point I was trying to make is that the alumni, the MEX alumni, when we return to our country, but also while we're still on the scholarship, we provide a bridge. We help by creating this bridge between those who are interested in Japan, interested in applying for the MEX scholarship, and in achieving that goal by supporting the embassy, apart from some of the activities that the other presenters mentioned. We also do the similar things, at cultural shows and exhibitions. The alumni helps the embassy by running workshops around, origami, using chopsticks, calligraphy, etc. But apart from that, the area where we are really key in supporting the Embassy of Japan in Fiji and the Pacific in helping increase the number of students that apply for the Mombukakusho scholarship is by promoting the scholarship within our own networks, within our research groups, within our workplaces, within our universities, within our labs. Word of mouth goes a very long way in spreading the news about the benefits of the scholarship and the great cultural exchange that occurs, and has helped us over the years to gain more students. We also act as scholarship advisors with the embassy, stationed at the embassy on a weekly basis, sometimes for a certain number of hours, to be there and available to provide information for those who are applying for the scholarship when it's when the applications are open. And also once the embassy has shortlisted and chosen the successful candidates, the alumni also then comes through and provides orientation for the students that are going across, not just basic language and greetings, but also way of life. And through the network that we have created of existing and past students, we also connect those who are going to Japan with the students or networks that are existing in Japan. So for example, if somebody is moving to Hokkaido, we share information with them which we have gotten consent from. The others, we share information on who else resides there, either from Fiji or other Pacific Island countries, so they have a familiar face, or if they need any information, they can reach out to someone else who understands them, understands their culture, and where they're from. So that was my comment. And to end that, I wanted to mention that for our alumni, one strong quote that we use often is, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And that's really helped us here in Fiji and the other Pacific Island countries working together with this network and supporting students who are on the MEX scholarship. Thank you very much. Winaka wakalevu, as we say in Fijian.
サリカさん、ありがとうございます。続きまして、ブラジルのアナさん、いらっしゃいますか？アナさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for receiving me. As I said, I'm Ana from Brazil. And first of all, your presentations was really, really interesting. And as Sarika-san said, there's many points, similar points and some different points. So I did some memo here. That's some interesting things that I want to point out. First of all, the day before, yesterday, we had a similar meeting, but between the Brazilian associations inside of Brazil. As Brazil is really a continental country, the issue is that each region in Brazil has their own issues or their own struggles. And we had a similar discussion 2 days, 3 days ago. And one of the points was really this part that Georgie from Ghana talked about, this part of the volunteer and what makes people motivated to work together. And this is something that we're still struggling with, and not going to lie, but is much better from 1-2 years before. And one thing that's really interesting is the meeting last year that we had the opportunity to be in Japan. It was the start of the closer communication between Brazil and Costa Rica. And we were able to do the Latin America Forum from alumni students, like yesterday and the day before. So the point is, using these opportunities that we meet up physically, we know that online is really practical, but meeting face-to-face makes things different. And we saw this difference in the conference that Costa Rica held yesterday and the day before. So I think we could use these opportunities that Japan government is giving to us to communicate and keep these bonds not only between our countries and Japan, but between our countries, our communities, alumni communities. So first of all, if you need anything and for us to get these bonds stronger, feel free to reach me anytime. And we think that having contact with other alumni associations from other countries is essential for us getting stronger these bonds. So I think this is the first part. The other part that's a little bit associated with this, one thing that is making us being able to reach more people, and still difficult, but we are trying to, is doing remote or hybrid sessions just as this one. So we are trying to do this more often during the day, during the year, and even from Japan to Brazil or other Latin American countries that we have more contact. And this is getting stronger and stronger. And this is getting to the new generations feeling that Japan is reachable. Sometimes I believe that Brazilians, young people, believe that Japan is too difficult to reach because the language is too different. For us, it's literally the other side of the world. But doing these hybrid or remote sessions, I believe that the young people are feeling that, okay, so maybe I can go. So if I put some effort, I really can go. So they're feeling closer to Japan with these online and remote and hybrid sessions. So I think this is something that we still need to improve, but it's something that is starting to work out. And the last thing that I want to talk about is this part of the cultural, the admiring of Japan. In Brazil, it's a little bit different because we have a really huge Nikkei community and Japanese community is really strong. So most of people know the Japanese culture because of these Japanese associations or Nikkei associations. And one thing that is really making things strong is working together. So the alumni associations and the Nikkei and Japanese community working together is what making things stronger. So I know many countries don't have a huge Japanese community, but this is something that is working for us. And I really hope that it works also for you as well, independent on which is the size of the Japanese or Nikkei community in your countries. But I think that's really, really interesting to put an effort in this. And just to finish my talk, my comment, I know that the volunteer work is not easy. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and many times a lot of money, not going to lie. But it's more of a reflection of what make people motivated to participate on this. What is the motivation of the young people? Might be different from the motivation of the elder ones. So maybe as we in charge of these associations, alumni associations, maybe as our role as senpais, let's say like this, is to talk about with the young people and try to check which are their motivations and try to extract this from them and try to arrange between what is a motivation for us and what is a motivation for them. So probably this is going to, and hopefully this is going to exchange the bonds and make the younger community more willing to not only go to Japan, but keep these boundaries and these bonds really tight, that I think the world are needing these most than ever. So thank you very much all for listening.
アナさんありがとうございました。続きまして、トンガのテレカキさんいらっしゃいますか？
Yes, good morning. It's good afternoon from this end. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I would like to apologize. I should have been joined the session yesterday, but I somehow missed the calendar up. But I'm happy to join in the session today. Yesterday there was a cyclone warning from our end, but thankfully it went away, and the sun is coming out today, so that's good news. So thank you so much for the presenters who have shared about their perspectives from their home countries, and I echo what have been shared by the presenters today. It's the same that we have here of the Japanese people, and how they are associated with being trustworthy and also with quality of infrastructure and everything that's Japanese related in our country. So we really look up to the Japanese people in terms of the services and also the goods or the infrastructure that they have provided for us. I hear our colleague from Bosnia shared about their being on time, the timeliness that they have, which is something also that we have a perspective, and also being very polite and respectful. So 2 weeks ago, I think, It was the Japanese emperor's birthday, so we held a reception here in Tonga in which we invited their majesties, the king and the queen, to attend as guest of honors. We also have the crown prince and princess, the prime ministers, very high-level personals from both the society and also the government. And I think that testify to the strong relationships that we have here in Tonga and also with the Japanese, with Japan. So that is something that we are also very proud of the continued strong ties that we have, even though our population is 100,000, like what Sharika have shared too. We are the big ocean with small populations. Also, I joined the alumni last year together with Anna-san and Sarika-san, and that was a very great opportunity to rekindle 10 years ago being a student in Japan. So when I came back, I was very fortunate enough to be in the panelist for the next scholarship interview for students to come to Japan. And we had 2 successful students to be there this year to continue being students. So I think that was very positive from us and something that I'm also very proud of, to still keep the ties, no matter how small the activity or actions been taken, but still the connection is there. And at work, I am the social committee for our employees. And if there's something that is known for us Tongan, and we call it the Tongan time. If we say that an event is going to happen at 10 o'clock, it will happen at 11 o'clock. So my being president, and I made it something that we have to keep on time, as in Japan. This is how they do. You have to go 10 minutes earlier to any event, otherwise it will be seen as being disrespectful. So I think for those who will be coming late to the event, they will have to pay a small fee of $2 every time they come late for occasion. So even though it's a small thing, but I think the impact that the Japanese people have in our life, even though it's 10 years after being a student, but still these are very positive impact that has in our life. Thank you for the sharing from your countries, and I wish you enjoy the rest of your stay for the alumni event, the 6th that you're having. And thank you also for having me the opportunity to share about the perspective from my country. Thank you so much.
テレカキさん、ありがとうございました。続きまして、第3セッションの総括を行いたいと思います。第3セッションのテーマである参加者の出身国から見た日本や、これまでの発表を踏まえてコメントがある方は手を挙げてください。本日に限らず、昨日の議論も踏まえてコメントがある方はいらっしゃいますか？ヤソルさん、お願いします。
小さいのコメントがありますけど、皆さんの話から出てるコメントだと思いますが、何かネットワークが、グローバル的のネットワークがぜひ、その僕がアクションのアルムナイのネットワークがぜひ必要みたいですね。ブラジルの方々も、あとヨーロッパの方々も、あとアフリカの方々も、みんな同じことを何か言ってましたので、多分グローバル的なそのメキシコのネットワークはぜひ必要みたいですので、何かどうやってどういうふうにあのようなネットワークを作れるか、そして私たちはどういうふうにあれをサポートするか、それを考えてますので、何かガイデンスをお願いします。
安原さん、ありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございます。ラップアップ、確かにそのグローバルネットワークが必要だっていう声はその通りだと思います。で、これをどう実現するかっていうことについてはいろいろな条件といいますか、どういう形式、フレームワークでやるのかっていうこともあると思うので、引き続きちょっと相談をしていきたいかなというふうに思います。本当は全員が集まってやれるといいですけれども、なかなかそういうことも難しいということがあるかもしれないので、一つには日本がイニシアチブを取るっていうアプローチもあれば、そのアルムナイの方々がイニシアチブを取ってこういうことをしてほしい、したいっていうようなことをちょっと出していただきながら、何ができるのかっていうことを相談していくのかなと思います。でも必要性については本当に同意します。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。それでこの皆さんでちょっとブレインストーミングしてもう一回何かコメントしますね。すいません。ありがとうございます。
他にコメントある方いらっしゃいます。はい、アルマさんお願いします。
Yes, thank you very much. I do know, when I visit the Japanese embassy in Ghana, I always see this very thin but informative magazine, Nippon. All right, it's Nippon, and it's always there. I was wondering if we had a global network and we sort of the regions, we put it in regions, just like if we have the WHO region, they have the Emerald region, they have the African region, they have the Southeast Asian region, they have those regions. Is it possible, for instance, a regional report on what is happening in their environment is sort of published or put in the Nippon magazine? And I don't know how many times a year we have the Nippon magazine. I'm sure it's certainly more than one. It's probably a quarter or so. We should be able to sort of rotate, and it gives information of whatever is happening around. So it's more of we being able to come together, as a regional thing. But that we can only do with the help of the embassy, to tell us there's a group in Nigeria, there's a group in South Africa, there's a group on that. And then we sort of, communication is now a little easier, so we can meet. And then what are the projects or what are the things that we done, put it together. So if it's the African region, then the African region is reported. So it keeps, people get to know about what is happening also. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。インプットちょっと、中で相談したいと思いますが、今のお話を伺ってすいません、大丈夫ですかね。情報をなんていうんですかね、共有するというか、なんかそういう意味においては結構その SNS も使えるのかしらというふうに思いました。なんかその帰国留学生の会、多分それぞれ皆さん持っていると思うんですけども、グローバル留学生の会みたいなのが会という名前を先に立ち上げるのか、もっとその緩やかにいろんな留学生の会がアップロードするというか、コメントをする、ポスティングするみたいな場所があると、また情報共有にも資するのかな、貢献するのかなということも思いました。でも日本の方はちょっと確認します。
My only comment regarding social media is that we need to be careful also, because people can just post anything and it defeats what you want to do. But in Nippon being a magazine, is much that is settled within the embassies and also settled with the alumni. It's much easier and it's very authentic. Okay.
ありがとうございます。イギリスのジョセオさんお願いします。
I just wanted to say thank you really for all the brilliant ideas that I've managed to collect over the past 2 days about different things to try in my own country. You know, thinking about even an essay competition, you know, from Ghana, friends online. So from Anna in Brazil, you know, the idea of asking young people what their motivation is definitely something that I'll do, and I will definitely reach out to everyone, as well the people online, just so that we can keep this contact going and keep this energy going. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。他にコメントある方いらっしゃいますか？
Yeah, on the Dr. Ayaz sir proposal, and Kumar since he also mentioned about how can we move. Just my personal thought is, let's do one online meeting organized by MOFA, because MOFA has a contact with all the embassies where the alumni association is available. Based on that one, let's start one online meeting, and in the online meeting try to involve most of the country where the alumni association is available. So let's discuss there the modality and framework and how we'll move, and maybe we can make a global alumni network where every year we can change the chair from Asia to Africa to Europe to South America, like this. So that initiation, I think, better to start from MOFA, because you have all the contacts. So once you have given us the contact, then we can arrange this kind of meetings every year, and MOFA will be facilitate only. So that could be one option or framework from my personal view. Thank you.
バタライさんありがとうございます。他にコメントある方いらっしゃいますか？
はい、はい、皆さんありがとうございました。今のアイディアもまたちょっと中で相談したいと思います。ありがとうございます。それではこの2日間帰国留学生会の幹部の皆様、お忙しい中集まっていただいて、それぞれの活動、それから今後のビジョンについて話していただきましてありがとうございました。参加された皆様も他の活動の内容を聞いてインスパイアされたところがあるんではないかと思います。で、我々も今後さらにこのネットワークをどうやって発展させて維持継続していくのかということを、考えたいと思います。特に今このなんて言うんでしょう、このオンラインでできるという時代になっていますので、今ご提案いただいたような方法はちょっと考えてご提示できるようにしたいと思います。で、皆様の、発表は私どもにとってもとっても勉強になるためになるものでありました。外務省といたしましても今後どうやってこれを何て言うんでしょうか、アイディアではなくて実際の政策としてインプレメントするためのステップを踏んでいきたいと思います。今日は午後も今度はその ASEAN の方々とも会う機会がありますけれども、一旦この帰国留学生総会の3部までのところはこれで終了させていただきたいと思います。本当に今回は来日いただきありがとうございました。
小室室長、ありがとうございました。これをもちまして、第6回帰国留学生総会第3セッションを終了いたします。オンラインでご参加の皆様、誠にありがとうございました。対面でご参加の皆様、誠にありがとうございました。